want you to understand that when you're discussing current electricity, you are setting your charge in motion. In electrostatics, accumulation of charge was done because the device that you are using, or the material that you are using, is an insulator. Today, that chapter, I told you that concept. Insulator is being used, so charge accumulation is happening. Whereas if you're talking about a conductor, same thing, charge will flow, and whatever charge enters will come out. No accumulation is there. Accumulation of charge is impossible because of the presence of something called as free electrons. All those things I'll discuss in this chapter. Now think about it, guys. Today you are sitting in front of a laptop. You are able to have this online session. I'm teaching. You are able to listen. You are having your mobiles. You are having your TV. You are having ACs to keep you cool in this hot summer. All this is possible only because of the amazing discovery which we can call as electricity. Just think about a life without electricity, like cavemen. How impossible it is even to imagine. So I can consider, at least according to my perception, I can think that electricity is one of the greatest discovery of all time for human. Okay. So of course you cannot give the credit to one person. There were many scientists who have contributed equally. As and when their contributions come, I will try to quote them. Is it clear? Can you think of a situation where where you can run without electricity? Ma'am, daytime, ma'am, please don't tell me such kind of things. I'm just trying to say, see, suppose in a very cold country, if someone is like in a really cold country, wants to live in such a climate, it is impossible for him to, our human body, what is our temperature? Tell me. Around 30 to 45, I think. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Within this temperature, we are fine, we are comfortable. Whereas if you go below this temperature or beyond this temperature, it's really suffocating for us. So imagine very cold countries where temperature is like, freezing cold. That time they will be using something called thermostat. Thermostat will be there in their home that will heat up the room. It will make it into a normal temperature, whichever the temperature they are to. Let's not talk about cold countries. We are in a situation that it is very hot. Couple of days it's been cool, but otherwise it is really hot in summer. You are using your ACs, your coolers, all those things for cooling your homes. Is it or not, guys? You are using your let's say a torch is being used, some kind of electricity. A clock is being used, some kind of electricity is there as well. Okay. So right now, we are living in a world where it is quite impossible to imagine a life without electricity. Okay, there are many stories, of course, about electricity, their inventions and all. Whenever time comes, whenever the class is little dry, I'll tell those things. Right? So I just want you to make a note of this, guys. This is a concept that I'll be covering in electricity. You can take a screenshot. No need to make a note. Just take a screenshot. Okay, I'll just tick out one thing to add, guys. It's not written. Voltage I have not written. Make a note of it. All right. Are you able to hear me? Actually, I'm worried if you're able to hear me, because you're not able to hear me. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good, Dilip. I'm able to see you. So there is whatever is in CBSE's perspective. I'm just going to tick. There's electric current for you. There's conventional direction. There's voltage. There's Ohm's law. Resistance, conductance is not there, and you have series and parallel combination, these things. Electric power is there, Joule's law is there, and electric energy. These are the concepts that you have from your regular CBSE's physics. Okay, something new you obviously you are learning. Others are new concepts. So make sure you pay good. Once if you are perfect at this chapter today, you will thank me again in your 12th grade. You will think about me when you are in your 12th grade. So one thing I want to tell about physics, guys, before I move to the next one, next slide. You have to understand the concept. Once you understand the concept, you will automatically, first of all, fall in love with physics. There is no going back and all that. So if you did not learn the concepts, it's a little difficult. So make sure you get it clear. Today, I want to tell you one thing, that I had taught 10A. It was a very interactive session. So now after this slide, I want you all also to turn your microphones on, ask all the doubts that you have. It will be very interesting for me to answer your doubts as well, only electricity related. Okay, can I move further? Yeah. All of you turn your microphones on, everyone, because it is a new topic for every single one of you, not for one person. So definitely you will have doubts. You have to answer the doubts. What is electric current? First part of what is electricity? Electricity is defined as flow of charge. Ma'am, why is it flow of charge? Why can't we say that it is flow of electron? We know that electron is flowing, right? Question you may get, why it's not flow of electron, why it's flow of charge? I'll just tell you that. Suppose I consider conductors. Let's say another type of material is electrolyte, and another type of material is let's say a semiconductor. I don't think you know semiconductor, but I'm sure you guys are familiar with conductors. Conductors are the ones which have who in them? Free electrons in them. Please don't define conduct. Whoever's thinking that conductor is a substance which allows electricity to pass, please don't think in that way. Conductor has a property which allows electricity to pass. That is, allowance of heat or electricity by a conductor is not definition. Definition of conductor is presence of free electrons. Such a kind of substance is a conductor. Absence of free electrons, such a kind of substance is an insulator or poor conductor. Now, electrolytes have charge carriers. These are all what? Charge carrier. Who is carrying the charge? In the case of conductor, charge carriers are free electrons. In the case of electrolyte, who guys? Cations and anions, right? Cations are your positively charged and anions are your negatively charged. What about semiconductor? Who will tell me what are the charge carriers in semiconductor? You have electrons and something called as holes. It's one of my favorite concepts. I'll teach semiconductors after electricity and a little bit about semiconductors. Okay, electrons and holes are the type of charge carriers that are in semiconductors. Is it clear? Because you have different charge carriers in different kind of materials, that's the reason it would be wrong to define electricity as flow of electron. See, if you can't say flow of electron is constituting electricity in electrolyte, right? It's wrong. So we have just commonly called all of this as charge. First, I hope that this is clear. Okay, I will erase this all. Now, what is electric current? First, guys, electric current is denoted with letter I. Till now, we never talked about electric current in the previous chapter because there was no flow. When there is no flow, there is no current. Okay. So now electric current is denoted with the letter I. It is simply the charge flowing per unit time. It is the charge that is flowing per unit time. Whatever formula I have written over here, that is this formula, is strictly for steady current. That is DC current. I'll tell you what is AC, what is. Suppose you have changing current, that is AC current. If you have, then you have to go for differentiation or delta. Delta Q, in your terms it is delta Q by delta T, but it is also differentiation of Q with respect to differentiation of time. I'll teach you differentiation this year as promised. Don't worry. We'll be solving more questions on differentiation as well. Okay, now what is a DC, what's an AC, I'll tell you. Before that, one small thing. Is it clear? Make a note of this. This dq by dt can also be written in delta q by delta t form. Tell me the unit of current. Charge with respect to time, so coulomb per second or ampere. Did anybody get a doubt over here? Wait, I'll ask somebody. Ashrit, do you have any doubts? Dilip, Ananya, Siddharth, Samiksha, no doubt. Anish, no doubt. Virupaksh became silent.
Ma'am?
No doubts?
Ma'am, ampere is not a derived quantity, right?
It is a fundamental quantity. Very good. Excellent work. Okay, tell me what is the dimensional formula of this? Mass is not present, length is not present, time is not present, whereas ampere is. Okay. Suppose Q, if I'm talking about charge over here, charge is I into T. The dimensional formula looks like this. Mass is I into T means ampere second. Mass is not present, length is not present, time is present one time, ampere is present one time. So very good doubt is asked by Dilip. Ampere is a fundamental quantity. 7 fundamental quantities: mass, length, time, temperature, luminous intensity, amount of substance, and electric current. Okay, so this is one. Okay, I'll erase this now, guys, and show you. I'll come to AC and DC, don't worry. Now we'll see. Different types of current are there. One is missed. One second. The first one, that is a steady current graph looks, that's supposed to be a straight line. Okay, this is a graph. Okay, supposed to be a straight line. Straight line meaning steady with whatever, however the time is changing, the graph is a straight line. This graph, which is a straight line, is nothing but a good example of direct current. Okay, then you have what? B and C. What they are telling, varying current. See, they are varying with time. As time is increasing, somewhat the other way. In the case of B, it's steadily increasing, whereas in the case of C, it's we cannot determine. It is in a what do you say? Not in a steady way, unsteady change of current. Come to last one, that is D. You can see that it is alternating. What is happening over here? Magnitude is positive for some time, negative, positive, negative. That is what we call as alternating current. Okay, one is A and one is D. These two are very important for you to know. First of all, what is an AC? What is a DC? AC means direct alternating current, and DC means direct current. That's a full form. I'll explain in detail once you have made a note of this. How AC come, how DC comes, so all. Now, guys, from now I want you to start asking doubts. What do you think is AC? What do you think is DC? Telugu. Whoever is having some disturbances at home, please turn off your. So direct current is always, remember, stored current, or in simple terms, layman's term, wherever you have the concept of battery, that's nothing but direct current. So symbol for battery like this: one positive terminal, one negative terminal. Why this positive, why negative? All that we'll learn in few classes when the concept of battery comes. But just understand that direct current means any current that is emitted from a battery, any current that is generated by a battery is nothing but direct current. Your homes, you're receiving current not from battery.
In AC, are there any fluctuations?
Who is that? Anam, is it you? Who is Anam only, I think it is.
Ma'am?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
guys, in AC, when we are talking, first listen to me, Anam. Your doubt will get clear. Anyone has doubts, you keep asking so that I'll mention point also. So in alternating current, the waveform is like this. So positive 5 ampere, after some time on the other end, that is negative 5 ampere. Don't think because there is positive and there is negative, current is vector. Current is always scalar quantity. Actually, to be true, current is not scalar, not vector. The new name, actually, there's one more name called as tensor quantity. Current is a tensor quantity. Mostly, you won't find this option. Suppose they ask you current is which of the following, scalar or vector. You will go for the scalar. If even tensor is there in the option, go for tensor. I'll tell you why it's tensor, reason on all. I'll tell, but just hold that there. This is not because of fluctuations, Anam. This is because something called as because of magnetic field. Okay, there's a concept in generator. In generator, I'll explain why there is a positive and why there is a negative. Right now, I cannot tell you because you won't understand. If I'll draw wire, you won't understand right now. So I don't want to confuse further. Just understand right now. You remember that one positive half is there and one negative half is there. Okay. Why we are using AC, ma'am? When we switch on our light, we are getting light brightness from the light. When we switch on TV, it's working. When laptop, when we switch on, it's working. Your phones are working. All of these, when you're seeing, some of them are AC, some of them are DC. Now, if you look at a phone, phone has a battery inside it. You are charging the battery and you're using the phone. Meaning, while you're using the phone, you are running it in DC. During charging, you're running it in AC. Okay. Now, I want to tell over here is whatever you're receiving when you turn on your switch, that is a AC current, not a DC current. Okay. It's not stored current from battery you're not getting. From whom you're getting? From substation. So this is some substation. So let this is substation. 1 second. This is a substation. Substation will send so many high voltage, so much of high voltage, let's say 11 kilovolt substation. This is, it is sending to some kind of a transformer. Then transformer are sending to your house, all the households. Household is sending it back to a transformer, and then it's going back to the substation. This is what the circuit looks like. Transformer 1, transformer 2. Why there are two transformers, ma'am? What is this transformer? I'll tell you. Transformer, first of all, is a device which either steps up the voltage or steps down the voltage. See, in our homes, we are using 220 volt, but look at what is the value that's coming, 11 kilovolt. So you want to step down the voltage to 220 volt. Then again, when it's sending it back to substation, it has to go back to the actual value, right? Ping it up and sending it back. Circuit, complete circuit is like this. Now, let me just draw a small transformer here to show you. This is what is soft iron core, guys. Once again, I'll make it neat. Okay. This is a soft iron core.